You have to understand, a lot of these brothers that get knowledge of self, they are entertainers. They may be affected and they may be enamored by what we teach and what we will achieve. But they're entertainers, God. Their intentions are, and their motive is to propagate the black man as God. And I don't hold anything against Lord Jamar. But in his walk, he may go to the left when it comes to certain things that the nation, Allah's 5%, we may not teach that, God, but he may see that in his life. I don't have no qualify, disqualify. Every man qualify himself when it comes to Allah's teaching. Now, we don't teach flat earth.
No.
We don't teach flat earth. But he teach flat earth. So do we have to he's excommunicado? No, we don't got to do that. He separated himself in saying that he teaches flat earth. We don't teach flat earth, God.
You know, one thing I think I could add to the conversation that's kind of unique to, you know, the time and place of, you know, New York City in the 80s, right? Is that, you know, the full reality, right, is something we've seen over time. You know what I mean? But you know, keeping it brick, right? This was a fad and a fashion too. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, it was.
Like when we talk, when you hear the brother saying how we move, you understand what I mean? It was, you know, it was cool to be a 5%, to have one of them names. You understand what I mean? To be able to, like I said, you know, you could go all over the city and you got juice. You know what I'm saying? Because you were 5%. So, you know, there's a lot of people that came into this, right, for the fad and fashion. You know what I mean? And it may be certain elements of it, you right, that they retain, but they never really came to the full realization of what this is and what we're doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you really took them, like if they really see, it's easy, you say it on the record and you make it rhyme, right? But when you really sitting here with an individual who is just learning it and they asking you the questions about the basic elements of what you're dealing with, can you really explain that? You see what I mean?
He can't really explain it. And that's one of the things that I have a group of brothers that
I was influenced by his words on the record, right? But see, none of y'all can actually say like, nah, I built with the guy and yo, he broke it down like this. You see what I'm saying? So, you know, that ends up happening, you know, in a lot of things. You know, that's one problem that we have with politics too. We do the same kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Where we see the person and we think we know them, but we don't know them.
You don't know them. You know, Lord Jamar has come down here to Divine Allah on a few occasions. You know, we've taken personal photos, we've had, you know, here and there, back and forth. But at the same time, God, you got to understand, the God is an entertainer. And I said, the God. He's an entertainer. I respect him for the fact that he's willing to stand up. He made a whole album dealing with the 5%. You can't disregard that. So whether he's ready to come up and say, you know what, God, this is the reason why I said that, this is why I said that. Who are we to qualify, disqualify that brother? I'm going to say, in Allah's 5%, we don't teach flat earth. That's not what we teach.
He's saying that he's one of us.
Okay. Show and prove.
Yeah. We don't teach that.
Yeah, we don't teach that. He has to show and prove that. And for him to be, see, that's another thing. God, Does he speak for you?
Nah, that's it. See, listen, it's
No.
always people like that. It's always people that, like I said, amongst their friends over there, they the guys, right? And look, this happens all the time. I see this happen all the time, right? Brother comes around, he got some people that he's teaching, right? Now over there, amongst them people that he's teaching, he's love. Hands down. They don't make a move without asking him something. And then he brings him around and discovers that around us, he's not even allowed to speak. He's not even allowed to speak.
I've seen that so many times, God. Like he's allowed to speak. He might say something out the side of his neck. We ain't even vouching for that. No. And the thing is, God, does he speak for you? Does he speak for the nation? And if he's speaking for himself and what he knowledges, and he knows that the nation don't speak on that, God, he knows the nation don't teach that. That's something that he's dealing with.
But look, it's like I said, that's not his teaching that make me say that, listen, you've disqualified yourself. The teaching that he said, right, he was on his platform and he was breaking down mathematics and he was speaking his finest French when he said that we have it wrong, that we say cipher comes at the end, but cipher comes before knowledge.
What?
Yeah, he said that on his live. He was breaking down the mathematics to what's the young lady's name?
Rod Digger.
He was breaking down the supreme mathematics to Rod Digger, and he said that cipher is supposed to come before knowledge.
I beg your pardon. I never heard.
And listen, and he said we got it wrong. Yeah, I don't know who we
is. See.
See, so what I'm saying is that he's not saying that perhaps, he's not making a suggestion that perhaps we can consider this other, way that I've seen it drawn up. Now he's saying that we got it wrong. And cipher comes before knowledge. See, that's now you see, it's like I was just saying. When you look at them other people that's supposed to be 5%, well, let's not say supposed to be. When you look at the otherwise known as, right?
There you go. That's the correct vernacular.
Listen.
Let's keep it 100.
When you look at these individuals, what you'll find is that they still have some characteristics in those other 2 degrees.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
Masons are still poison animal eaters.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of Muslims is still believing in a mental death and power. I mean, in 10%. You see what I'm saying? So
right.
Peace, Laju. We don't teach that at a law school featuring Lord Jamar series about to drop soon. Hilarious.
So
we don't teach that, man. And then coming into this, in the year that I came in, I hold fast to those teachings of how I got it. I never got flat earth. You know what I'm saying? And there are other things that I never got that I won't move away from.
Mm-hmm.
I won't move away from that. That is way far to the left, God. Yeah. And then you have to come forth and show and prove what you're talking about.
Yeah. And I'm saying, even look, when I check it, I want to see even like, all right, so you saying that, right? All right, so what's the history? Like, what's the, like, because see, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we can go from there. What's the history?
You saying one thing, but it's like, nah, son, this is, you took a brick out where the building can't stand that. Like, we got to go back and calculate this whole shit over from the 1 to 10, you say. From 196,940,000 We got to recalculate 7,926, 24,896, 57,255. We got to recalculate all this, right? Because you're saying it's flat, but you don't have, see, for me, you don't have the mathematics to show and prove. Meaning that, I
need that math, dog.
Right now, they can tell you when it's going to be the next solar eclipse.
Indeed.
See, so their ability to be able to predict that, right, consistently and accurately, like it don't never be off. It don't never be like, oh shit, now it's going to be tomorrow. It'd be within a second of the time the motherfucker be there for the news and shit. Yo, it's about to come right now. And then boom, the shit come. So how the fuck could they calculate it like that if it's not right exactly? But you have no calculations. You can't tell me why it's 24 hours in a day. You can't tell me why it's 365 days in a year. You can't tell me nothing about the constellations, why they where they at, and none of that. But you expect me to throw away all the science what I have. That's what you expect.
You'll get some sympathizers that'll be like, yo, God, don't cast the brother. He got a national platform, and man, listen, let me tell you something, man. I don't care what type of platform he has. The science is this. If we don't teach that, he's qualified or disqualified himself. Yeah. We don't teach that, G.
And then what's more is how you live that out. Like how do you live that out? This flat Earth, you understand what I mean? What is And look, if the Earth is flat, right? This is what I keep asking them, and they haven't been able to tell me yet. If it's flat, what's on the other side? It's got to be. Look, it's some obvious questions here. That what I'm saying is you got to look at it. What I'm saying is, look, the way I got it now, it's working. The way I calculated now is working. You understand what I'm saying? It's no problems. So why should I change the way I'm doing it now for the way you saying it, and you don't have any of these calculations? You can't.
And there's something that gets lost in this, G, and it's the religious side of it, right? Because if the Earth is flat, and then a lot of the science, there's a dome over the Earth, right?
Yeah, that's what I said. They got the moon painted up there,
Yeah. So then who put that dome there? You get what I'm saying? So really,
that's some whole the Truman Show science, God. They on some Truman, the movie The Truman Show, right?
Yes.
They on that shit.
Yeah. So they're really on some religious stuff because they talk about God with that.
Mm-hmm.
So that's something that gets lost in this whole thing. Like, he's religious. I see him as 85.
Yeah. See, I'm gonna look, Hashim, this is what it is. You got to remember what our duty is, right? He did not remain civilized. Listen, in 1990, 91, 92, he didn't remain civilized. It's not civilization, God. That's what I'm saying. We can't do that, God. Just
he lost the knowledge of himself.
Look, just like there's some brothers that look, I remember they was dancers back in the days. Now when they build, man, they drop high science. Right. You see what I mean? And look, whatever they showed and proved then, they showed and proven now. So by the same token, just because you showed and proved then, that don't mean you guys you showing and proving now. Even us as a nation, sometimes
all the way to the left now.
We fall back on what brothers accomplished before we was even physically birthed and shit. We be talking about that shit like we did it. Like, yeah, we built the school. Yeah, we got the school, guy. Nah, nigga, you fucking talking about? You wasn't even born when that shit got here. You understand what I'm saying? People be doing that. You see what I mean? We have to remain civilized, man. What he did is not remain civilized and not continue to teach civilization. Andre Coleman
get so enamored and caught up with these entertainers, man. Don't come on, man.
Andre Coleman asked why we talking about Lord Jamar. My reason for bringing it up. That's the link right there that I just posted, Andre Coleman. You can come on the live if you care to speak up for Lord Jamar. But my reason for speaking on it was to show where the things that he's saying is straying away from what it is that we teach.
Yeah, we don't teach that.
That is generally, that is the reason for this channel. You know what I'm saying? Like this lives, the class and all of this have already been being broadcast. But in particular, I put this channel on here so that people could see, a 5%. You know what I'm saying? I don't know everything. You know what I'm saying? But you can see, somebody who has really lived their life as a 5%. You know what I'm saying? Not somebody who's seen it on the internet and they got a theory of how we're supposed to be or what's fair or none of that. You understand what I'm saying? So, his comments pertaining to, like I said, my primary thing, that cipher comes before knowledge. You know what I'm saying? As well as, which first, let's full stop. When we talk about law and order, when we talk about the basic foundation, the basic blueprint that we saying that the universe goes according to, and you saying it's something different than the very foundation of how we begin to build. You beginning to build from person, place, or thing, while we beginning to build from an idea. That's different. See, when we come together and we have like minds, that's the whole purpose of us dealing with the supreme mathematics.